Another special guest, a very special guest, Kellyanne Conway, Counselor to the President, here with us on our program today. Kellyanne, thank you very much for being with us.
It's wonderful to have you here at the White House, Stuart.
It's great to be here.
What an incredible interview last hour with the President.
I'm just a poor immigrant fresh off the boat.
Well, since we saw you in that interview, he hosted 6 stakeholders in the Oval Office and some cabinet secretaries to really highlight the personal impact of his deregulatory breakthroughs. He saved $23 billion to employers, employees, and small businesses just this year. And he had stakeholders in there like Benson who have literally benefited. We get mired in Washington, D.C. about the facts and the figures, and I know, as you so correctly point out daily, and you just said several minutes ago, Stuart, that many in the mainstream media want to ignore the economic miracle that is the Donald Trump presidency, but they can't ignore people like Benson who come here to say, this is how I've been positively impacted in my life.
And Mr. Benson Waller joins us right now, sitting next to you, Kellyanne. You're in the coal industry.
Yes, sir.
Tell me a rule change made by this administration which has helped you in your industry.
I think the biggest one would be the stream protection rule.
Stream protection?
Stream protection rule, yes, sir.
Close to my heart, but go ahead, explain.
Well, I think it has just been financially devastating for our industry, and it would make it really tough for us to compete, on the market with the other energy.
Let me get this right, because I'm familiar with this rule. I'm a tree farmer in upstate New York. That rule suggested that if you got a rock within 20 feet or 20 yards, I think it is, of a stream, you got to get a permit to move the rock, and you got to put in a plan as to how you're going to move the rock. That's the rule you're talking about.
That's correct.
That was a huge plus when that rule was gotten rid of.
Yes, sir.
You owe your job to that rule change?
I would say definitely yes, sir.
Well, I would like to interject. Many coal miners owe their jobs to that rule now, who have since gotten jobs. The coal mining industry is up. The growth is up, but the employment is up. The woman who lost the election in 2016, whose name I never mention anymore, lest I be accused of mentioning her name, she promised to put the coal mining industry out of business. This president has helped them to grow jobs. So he has safeguarded jobs, but he's also grown jobs. I also wanted to point out the stream protection rule that Benson refers to. The president signed that in February of 2017, less than 1 month on the job. That's what a priority it was for this president, to act swiftly and decisively for the coal miners. Those compliance costs would have cost jobs, would have cost inordinate amounts of money, and would have left the coal mining industry flat on its back, not unlike construction, manufacturing, all these other industries that the president committed to and indeed has delivered on bringing back.
One of the themes which I've been pressing this morning with all of our guests is the need to cut spending. And as I understand it, the president wants every cabinet secretary to cut 5% from their budget. That's a tall order.
He may be demanding that in the cabinet meeting momentarily, in fact. Perhaps you got a preview.
Cut.
Well, but he's asking them to cut the fraud, the waste, the abuse, cut the fat, not cut the essentials. This is a president who, when he signed the last omnibus, said, don't send me something like this again. I won't sign it, because he felt like it had a lot of waste in it. But he also saw the first pay raise for our brave men and women in the military in many years. He also saw an equipment enhancement for them and the beginnings of the border wall, perhaps. But he also saw new money for school safety, for opioids, and things that are very important to his domestic agenda. But the president knows that part of why and how he got elected, Stuart, is he made a legitimate, credible promise to come to Washington, disrupt, do things differently. He came here owing nobody anything. And it allows him to have really a vaunted voice to say, listen, get rid of the waste.
Saudi Arabia, if it is shown that something dreadful happened and the Saudis are responsible, and we want to punish Saudi Arabia, surely we must not punish so severely that we break up the containment of Iran. A balancing act, isn't it?
Well, the president's made clear it's a balancing act, as has the vice president. They haven't used those words necessarily, but what they have said is that if severe consequences could flow, depending on the facts as they are revealed. Secretary Pompeo is coming back this evening from his trip to Saudi Arabia. He will brief the president in due course. And the president is waiting for that investigation to be completed. At the same time, he also knows, as you point out, how vital our relationship is on many different fronts, including, if not mostly because of Iran.
Can we talk to you about the migrant caravan heading towards the US-Mexico border?
Maybe Benson should take this one, but go ahead.
You know something about the migrant caravan that I don't know.
No, sir.
Probably knows that he wants border security.
Well, the president says, look, we're going to take money away from Honduras and other countries which allow this flow. Maybe that's having some impact because we hear that maybe they're going to try to stop them. But what happens if they do arrive at the border? What is America going to do?
Well, if they arrive at the border and they're in Mexico, Mexico is in charge of that. It's really when they're trying to come through our border illegally that we would have jurisdiction. But let's back up for a moment and recognize that many people are coming here and claiming asylum, but they're also saying, I want economic opportunity, or I'm looking for food, or I'm looking for... So those claims could be assessed differently depending on the claim. But I think the caravan is a microcosmetic example of the number of individuals who are just pouring across the border, even though this president has asked Congress to act. This is congressional, and it's judicial. We now have just a couple of immigration judges making the immigration law for the entire country. That's not right. Congress failed to act. And I think heading up to the midterms, if not in lame duck, people will be watching to see which party is serious about open borders versus border security. We're a sovereign nation. We have to have physical borders.
Kellyanne Conway getting it all in. We really appreciate it. And Benson Waller. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for being with us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.